Ready?
I'm good.
Yes.
Yes.
You ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Blaine Milleman. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really well, Louis.
Good. Today we're gonna do a little talking about your life and what happened in it and what's going on and where it's brought you and where it's taken you and
Where it's taking me is here.
yeah. So like I've been doing this little kind of series of
Thank you.
origin stories, if you will. You know?
Okay.
You know, it's like, and just kind of getting to know people and talking to my customers, my employees and customers, and just stuff like that. So I kind of want to get a little backstory on you, and then we'll talk about, you know, kind of your life, where you grew up, and then we'll talk about some stuff that happened in your life.
Okay.
And you know, I'm sure there's like a ton of interesting
Oh,
stuff.
I don't know. Led a pretty dull life, I think.
I mean, well, I have. I don't know. Until now, this is my most exciting project.
Yes?
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So, you gonna get lit up there? Oh, that is a huge fail.
That's
Here you go, sir.
Thank you. Unbelievable. Bringing a light, it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. You know?
Yeah. Got my little humidor here, so it's ready to go for us.
Yeah.
If we run out of smokes. So you're smoking the Headley Grange
Yes.
that I smoked with Al. Have you tried one of those yet?
Yeah, I did. I had one from one of our sample packs a while back.
I'm smoking a Rocky Patel 20th. Kind of killing the light. I'm gonna use that later. So tell me, Blaine, where did you grow up?
Oh, I grew up I was born in Edmonton, Alberta.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in St. Albert, Alberta.
Which is where?
North of Edmonton by about one skip.
Okay. So real close.
Real close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived there until, about 92? 91? 92? So, grew up my formative years in St. Albert. Nice little community.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the more, how shall we say, what's the term about taxes and most expensive places to live per capita?
Is it?
It was back in the 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
It was one of the highest. The taxes were like $6,000-$7,000 a year for a regular two-bedroom bungalow.
Oh, Jesus.
It was an expensive place to live. I don't know how my father did it.
Right.
Oh, I know. He worked his butt off.
Yeah, right. So St. Albert, you grew up there. You went to school there.
Yeah, I went to elementary, junior high. Yep.
Okay. And then why'd you leave?
Oh, it was just time to move out of my parents' place. I was actually I was involved with someone. We ended up moving in together because she was pregnant.
Right.
And that fell apart quickly.
Oh, shit.
2 Taurans in the same room.
2 what?
Taurus.
Oh. You believe in that shit?
Well, when there was 3 of us in the same apartment, yeah. Her daughter, and me.
Yeah. Yeah. So the relationship didn't last?
No, it didn't last. It lasted a couple of months.
Oh.
That's all we could afford. That's all we could stand each other. And there were other things that happened that made me realize that this was not the person I wanted to be with.
Right. But you got her pregnant in those 2 months?
Yep. Oh, no, she was pregnant before.
Before what?
Before the 2 months.
Before you moved in together?
That's right.
Oh, so you dated a little longer than 2 months then?
Oh, yeah, we dated for about a year.
Oh, I see. It was just the move-in part that playing house didn't work out.
Playing house did not work.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Right. Okay, so...
So we split up, and our daughter was born in May of 91.
Okay.
So, and she'd be about almost 30 by now.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
And then I had a roommate for a while, and he was a bit young, shall we say, in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't work out. So I decided, okay, it's time for me to live on my own for a while.
Yeah. So you can say, no, you don't want to talk about that or whatever anytime you want. But you say your daughter would be about 29, 30. So, like, you don't know her?
No. I haven't seen her since the day after she was born.
Oh, Jesus. What happened? Like, what was
I got a phone call early one morning. Now, this is when I was working nights. So about 8 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call from Catholic Social Services saying that my ex is giving up our daughter for adoption.
Without talking to you about it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So they asked me if I wanted to take her.
Right.
And so I was not awake. So they got an honest answer, which was, I can't afford to look after myself, let alone another human being.
Oh, I see.
So I wanted to give her the chance to have a family.
Yeah.
And the social worker, jaded social worker on the other end of the phone, starts bawling.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like, I was doing the right thing.
Right.
I was doing the right thing for me. I was doing the right thing for, as I've named her Amber.
Mm-hmm.
And the social worker thought I was doing the right thing, too. Because I was 26, barely able to look after myself. So I often wonder what would have happened if I'd kept her. But
yeah, you'll never know.
Never
right?
know.
No, you never know. It would have been hard. It would have been the hardest thing you've ever done, I'm sure.
It
Raising
was.
kids is brutal.
Yeah.
Brutally hard. If you want to do it right. You know. Yeah. Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. That must have been hard.
It was.
I can imagine going through that. That
That's
must have been
why
brutal.
I'm glad they phoned so early in the morning.
Yeah, when you were a little numb still.
Yeah, so that they could actually get a proper answer
Right.
without thinking. I do most of my best thinking when I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
No, sorry, I do most of my best speaking when I'm not thinking.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Say the right thing when it's proper.
Right. Man. God, this got deep fast, didn't it?
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that I really have to still come to grips with.
Really? You're still dealing with this?
Yeah.
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 So what do you think you're going to do?
Well,
Would you like to try and locate her and
Well, that's entirely up to her, I think.
right.
If she wants to find me, that's great. I've put it out there. Like, social services knows my address.
Oh, I see. So she looks, she can find you.
Yep. I posted on Facebook
Right.
the letter that I wrote her when she was 7 years old.
Right.
So I'm not hiding.
Right. Okay.
But if she actually wants to look for me, my full name is there. I don't have any secrets from pretty much anybody.
Yeah, yeah. God. Well, maybe.
Oh.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
So how are you working on this? Like, how are you dealing with it? Or is it something that's like always on your mind or often on your mind?
Often.
Or often.
Yeah. That hour or so before you fall asleep when your mind just keeps going, like, what have you done? Could you have done better?
Yes.
That
yes.
type of thing.
Right. Oof. Yeah, that's tough.
It is.
Yeah.
But my fervent hope is that at the time I knew 3 couples that couldn't have children.
Mm-hmm.
3 really spectacularly wonderful couples.
Right, and you're just hoping that she went to someone like that, which
Yeah.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to believe that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Any other
Scenarios.
Scenarios-
Not a
no,
possibility.
it's not in the realm of me even thinking about it.
Yeah. Wow. So you were 26 at this point. You're working graveyard shift?
I was working afternoons, evening shifts with the provincial government.
Uh-huh.
Working in a courthouse.
Oh.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Spent.
What were you doing in the courthouse? Like, what was your job?
At that time, I was a heavy-duty caretaker.
Okay.
Polishing floors, vacuuming 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Using floor polishers.
It's hard work, man.
Yeah.
Vacuuming sucks.
Oh, even with
I sweat vacuuming. You know what I mean? Actually, the act of vacuuming makes
It's
me
work.
sweat. It's actually work.
Yeah, and we actually had to walk behind vacuum cleaners.
Walk behind.
Yeah, like a mini Zamboni.
Oh, yeah.
You just walk behind it and just
Ah.
you just walk up and down the same 100-foot corridor, back and forth,
Yeah, right.
back and forth.
Well, you got to keep that stuff clean, man.
Oh yeah, it was a good job.
You don't want it to look like the floor at work.
Nothing looks like that floor at work.
No, right.
I'd love to actually strip
You
that
could roll
floor.
a cigar off of the floor at work. There's
Yeah.
so much tobacco on it.
I think it would be nice to strip that floor and re-wax it because it's a beautiful hardwood floor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's
yeah. Those
gorgeous.
are like 6-inch wide maple boards.
Exactly. I mean, that's the type of stuff that restorers and architectural salvagers go absolutely nuts over.
Yeah, yeah. So, 26 years old at the courthouse, working evenings and...
Yeah.
Where'd you go from there?
Let's see what happened there. Oh,
I think that's not lit properly.
no, it's not. Thank you.
Well,
Talking, not
everyone
even-
that I bring on the podcast, well, not everyone, it's only been a couple of us, have murdered the foot of their cigar. I'm going to have to do a How to Light Your Cigar 101 soon.
Well, I usually do pretty good with matches. What are you saying? That I don't know how to light a cigar? You?
No, I'm just saying everyone that comes on here must have a little bit of nervous tension at the very beginning, and they light their cigar and they screw it all
Well,
up.
you should have them show up an hour early.
Right? We should be into the cigar before we start recording.
No, into the whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Then,
Well, you know, yeah.
Then the nerves settle down.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
right.
have to
Yeah,
get it right.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit weird at first talking into a mic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit weird. But within a few minutes, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I hope that lawnmower in the background doesn't come up through the mics because we're recording outside.
That's beautiful.
If anyone
day.
knows. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
So let's see, where were we?
26
26
courtyard courthouse.
Yep, that was I was involved with a small industrial accident.
At the courthouse.
Yeah.
Mm.
Was when you use a floor polisher for polishing the high gloss floors.
Yes.
Beautiful. It was the best thing about the job was that you got instant gratification for a job well done.
Right.
You had clean carpets or you had a perfectly polished floor.
Right.
I loved it for that.
Yeah.
So this one fellow coworker decided to step on it while it was moving. And you normally hold the buffer just under your belt.
Right.
So when he stepped on it, it went in and up and ripped all my adductors out.
What?
Yeah, just ripped them all.
Like ripped your guts open?
No, just ripped all the muscles on the right-hand side. When somebody says they have a groin pull, that's what it is. And just from that little instance, whenever I hear groin pull on,
It
you know,
makes you
from sports people,
Still
and
makes your asshole pucker?
oh, it does, because it hurts, and it does end a career. It ended my career there.
Really?
Yeah, because I couldn't finish anymore. It ended my golf career
Oh.
because I couldn't finish the swing
Right.
because there's no blood circulation there.
Oh, boy.
So that was
That's no good.
that was no good. So again, after that, I went to bartending school.
Oh, yeah.
Became a bartender. Worked in a hotel for 3.5 years
Where?
in Edmonton.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked for Best Western Cedar Park Inn. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's still there or not. Probably is. Probably is. That hotel will go nowhere. And that was an entertaining 3.5 years. I was a banquet captain. So everybody's go-to. And unfortunately, I thrived in that too much.
Yeah.
I was drinking, 2 pots of coffee a day to keep going.
Oh.
I was drinking probably to excess because it's part of the industry. And
Oh, yeah. Drinking in the industry is...
it was nuts. It was terrible. So then I was having I couldn't seem to relax. So I was talking to my doctor, and he says, "So He says, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a banquet captain in a hotel. He goes, oh, what does that entail? And I told him. And he goes, well, that explains why your heart rate's 120 beats a minute.
Oh, the coffee.
The coffee, the stress. My blood pressure was 188 over 108. And he says, you're aiming for a heart attack.
Jesus, how old were you?
I was...
Like 30-something?
32.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and he said, you're going to have a heart attack. And I said, what, 10, 15 years? And he goes...
10, 15 minutes?
6 months, tops.
Really?
He said, so you have to quit.
Oh, jeez.
So I quit. And funny enough, went from working in the hotel industry, in the bar business, to driving a taxi because it was less stressful
Oh, yeah.
than working in the bar business.
Yeah,
And I did that for 16 years.
yeah. But a lot of people that don't realize, see, I was a server and bartender for quite a few years. And what a lot of people don't realize is how, if you care, how stressful that job can be.
Oh.
Just getting everything right and, getting everyone what they need, their proper orders on time. There's so many cogs in the wheel of food service, that there's just a shitload that can go wrong. I'm surprised anyone ever gets their fucking food in a restaurant.
Yep.
There's just so much that can go wrong from the ordering, the prepping, the preparation, the order taking, everything. Just delivering the food and the service in general. It's actually unbelievable that anyone ever gets a meal.
Yep.
So, yeah, I know the stress can be super high there. Now, if you're just goofing off and you're working in a low volume place, easy.
Yeah,
when you start moving volume though,
yeah,
and you get rushes and it's nicer quality food and people are paying good money and you have a certain clientele that expects expects a level of service and quality, it gets difficult.
It does.
It gets difficult.
Well, one of the times I was actually, when I was recovering from mononucleosis, which...
Kissing disease.
You don't ever want to have. Oh, it's brutal.
Is it?
It is. It's absolutely brutal. It ruins your immune system. It drops you right down.
Well, I didn't get around like you, so I never
Yeah,
had
apparently I got around a lot. Unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
But I ran into an owner of a bar, and he said, I was drinking in his bar, and he says, do you know anybody who wants to be a bartender? And I said, well, how much would you pay somebody who really doesn't know what he's doing?
Right.
He says, I'll pay you, whatever minimum wage was.
yeah.
Back then, 20 cents an hour or something.
Yeah.
And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast working there because I was the bartender, I was the server. And that's when I started to develop my customer service, my love of customer service.
Right.
Because it's so important. You can actually get yourself an extra 5-10 minutes by just somebody walks in the door and you go, hey, how's it going? Mm-hmm. You acknowledge their existence, which I personally believe
we still teach that today at work, don't we?
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
It's the people crave acknowledgement, whether they know it or not.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they are, where they are, their station in life. If you acknowledge them with a wave or a nod, you've just got yourself an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Where they are not feeling like they've been left alone.
Yeah, right.
That's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
I've been to bars and watched somebody light a cigarette. Okay, and so they have until my server has until that cigarette is done. If I do not see a server by the end of that person's cigarette, I'm gone.
Oh, like as a customer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Back in the days when you could smoke in the pub or the bar. Yeah.
I loved it when I smoked my pipe in the bar.
Yeah.
Because it always smelled so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I learned that, was being in a busy bar and having the bartender or a server just walk by me and wave. Say, okay, yeah, I see you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That gives them an extra 5 minutes to come and get my order.
Yeah.
And these were career servers,
Yeah.
20-year, 30-year servers.
Well, no, you need to acknowledge the consumer, regardless of what industry you're in.
It doesn't matter how busy you are.
No, exactly.
No.
You could just say hi. Yep, be right there.
And that just makes their experience so much better.
Yeah, right. You were there for like 3 years in the bar business?
Yeah, on and off 3 years. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. So when I became a cab driver, I used that experience to garner customers that only called me. My cell phone was going all the time.
So okay, wait a second. Back up.
Yeah.
Back up. You're jumping ahead here, Mr. Milleman.
You should be used to this by now.
Yeah, right. So you you start driving cab.
Yep.
And how are people getting your number? There must have been a point at the beginning where you were just taking calls.
Oh, I was just taking calls.
Taking whoever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That led to some interesting experiences.
And then you're saying that, but then after a while you started getting your regulars and you would just give them your direct line.
Yeah.
Is that legal to do? Not
Yeah.
legal, but like that's no problem because
That's no problem.
you're still running the meter.
Oh, still, the meter always runs.
Yeah, so everyone's getting paid and all
Yep.
that good stuff, but they're just calling you directly rather than dispatch.
That's right.
So how the heck how do you organize that then? Like you've got a client already and you're going somewhere and someone calls you directly on your phone. You just tell them I'll just be a few minutes
Yep.
or okay.
Okay, I'm vacating at such and such. I can be back in 15 minutes if that's okay.
Right.
And that's
And
because
if
of
it
that
didn't work
acknowledgement.
if it didn't work for them, then they
didn't
just
work.
call dispatch.
That's right.
Yeah.
If it didn't work, it didn't work.
Right.
But the nice thing about it was that I was going to the bars that I frequented before driving cab.
Oh, I see.
So they knew who I was already.
The bartenders and
Yep.
servers and stuff. Yeah.
They knew who I was. So they said, now you drive cab. Good. We want your number.
Oh, I see. So, I get you. So, like the bartenders and stuff were calling you
Oh, yeah.
directly.
They would call me for staff
Right.
and for what we call vulnerable people.
Oh, okay.
Nice people who unfortunately had a bit too much to drink.
A little too much to drink.
And they wanted,
Make sure they get home.
get home safely, which everybody deserves.
Sure.
Everybody deserves to get home safely, especially when they've been stupid drunk.
Yeah, stupid drunk or high or whatever
Exactly.
the hell it is. Yeah,
So
no.
they would always.
Just because you go out and drink too much and smoke too much, and it doesn't mean shit. You should still be able to get home safe.
Yes.
100%.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like, there's no like, oh, she's drunk. No, that's not an excuse.
No, there were numerous times where I would take somebody home, and then the next day see them.
And they wouldn't even know you took them home.
No, they
Drove them home.
drove them home. Yeah. I don't take them home.
Yeah, you drive them home.
I would have to have a hotel for all the people that I used to drive home.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder.
And they wouldn't even know?
No. They just wake up at home, see me the next day. Go, did you give me a ride home last night? Yep. Okay, good. Did I pay you? Yes, you paid me. Numerous times.
Hilarious.
Oh, it was. I often wonder sometimes if that was a bad thing, though. Because these people knew that no matter where they were, no matter what condition they were in, they could call me, and I'd get them home.
Well, that's good. What's wrong with that?
That means
it's just
they
that
could-
you sometimes got
Really
drunk,
Yeah.
passed out. Yeah.
Oh, I did notice that one of the things that's interesting about a drunk, you may realize this, that when they pass out, the first time you wake them up, they're very coherent. They have just this last little bit of the lizard brain going, okay, yeah, I know what's going on. So before people, when they get in the car, they give me their address, they give me a deposit because they're drunk. I let them pass out.
Oh, I see.
So then I would drive and I'd get them to their home. I'd open the door, say, okay, you're home. And they would look up, I'm home.
And that's
They'd
it.
get out of the car under their own power. They'd get in.
and then they're
That'd be it.
probably passed out on the stairs.
Yeah, that's fine. I got him in the house.
Yeah.
Numerous times I actually had to get their house keys from them to actually
Sure.
get in the door.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I used to have a buddy of mine that we used to go drinking sometimes, and I'd have, back in those days, you could have 2 or 3 drinks and drive home, and no one said anything.
No.
But he'd have, instead of me, I would have 2 or 3, and he'd have like 8 or 10 or 20 or whatever. And it was hilarious because I would drive him home, drop him off, and he would go in the basement door. Holy shit! Sometimes I would wait till he got in the house. Right, I wouldn't leave him because I didn't want him outside. Yeah. I'd be like waiting like 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes. He's trying to get the key in the door. I'd finally get out of the car and go out there. Give me the goddamn key. Get in there. And then I, head on my way. It's already 2:30 a.m., dude. Let's get this.
We gotta get the show on the road here.
Yeah, man, I'm working tomorrow. Let's go.
I had a client who I was doing that. I watched him get up to his house. I watched him put the key in the door. I went, okay, he's good.
Oh.
Apparently, 4 hours later,
He didn't quite.
he woke up with his hand on the key in the door, passed out cold, just like this.
Hand up in the air.
Oh,
yeah, I believe
God, dude.
It's pretty funny sometimes. Yeah. Hilarious. So your cab, that's your cab career.
Yeah.
Now this is getting more recent now.
I finished the cab business in 2012.
Oh, okay. So you've been out of it for a little while then.
2012? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I bartended until about 90. Let me think here. 93, 4, something like that.
Okay.
94, 95. I was still, when I opened up the cigar store, I was still bartending a little bit to supplement, right? Cause
the golden handcuffs, as some servers call them.
They are.
The business
is yeah, because you make good money. And a lot of people were leaving. Yeah, a lot of people left the bar business to go to jobs that were real, quote unquote, air quotes, that made them less money.
Yeah,
because the gratuities are good.
The atmosphere.
The atmosphere is good.
The party.
Yeah.
Is
the party. The party's fun, no doubt about it. But the money's good. If you're good, the money's good.
Yeah,
and it's hard to get out of that industry because you're making really good money.
Well, there was a server in Edmonton for a while, and he decided to open a restaurant in Vancouver. So he did that for about 5-10 years, and he moved back to Edmonton to become a server
because he's making more
because
serving
he made more
than
money
owning.
And there's less stress.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So this man probably did 6 figures a year as a server, as one of Edmonton's best servers. He was voted one of Edmonton's best servers out of
that's cool.
3,000
Oh, so he was
people.
very good.
He was very good. And I knew him personally, so it was a lot of fun to go to his place and be served by him.
Yeah. Yeah, so like where I was working, I got stuck doing managerial type stuff because there was no one else to do it, so I just started doing managerial type stuff, which was, in hindsight, was good because it gave me some basis for when I opened up my own business, right? I had some bookkeeping experience. I had, just experience doing stuff other than serving tables, but it's a pay cut.
Oh,
the manager of a restaurant is making less than the servers.
Yes, definitely.
100%. 100%. Even though he's got the responsibility of the room, he's not making as much. And when I did the door or managed or, in the bar, you need someone, you need that person that can pick up like, oh, the food's sitting too long on the line, you got to get it out to tables. You need someone that can pick that food up or do coffees or clear some tables or change the toilet paper or the hand towel or just do whatever, these little things. You need that person floating.
Yeah.
And when I worked in the business, that guy didn't get tipped out.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was like, you're getting your wage and that's it. So you're making a lot less than the girls were on the floor. Well, I say girls because most of the servers and where I worked were women. But so not the management in the restaurant business, I guess, can be good when you get into a bigger facility, right? But when you're just working in a smaller place, a neighborhood place,
You're everything.
you're working hard and you're not making as much as the servers are by any means.
Sometimes the servers actually will tip you out.
Yeah, like sometimes they would if they were really in the shit.
Yeah, and
their section was like slammed, they literally couldn't keep up, and you're making them good money. Yeah, but rare when you called. Where that would happen, like as a bartender, like I'm behind the bar bartending, and a girl's in trouble in her section, and I go out into the section, leave the bar, go into the section between making cocktails or whatever, clear some plates, fill some coffees, take an order or two just to give her that a little breather, just to catch up.
Yeah,
then they would tip out big. Yeah. You know, it wasn't uncommon to get tipped out $30, $40 from a single server.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out. Yeah, and you saved me and you made me all this extra money because instead of giving those people what could have been possibly a bad experience, turned it into a good one. They tipped appropriately, on and on.
See, what I noticed about like when somebody can't come to work and you do, right? Mm-hmm. I noticed that no matter how many people I scheduled to work in the dining room, occasionally you'd have to do a shift.
Yes.
And it never bothered me because I got to have fun and I got to make money.
Yeah.
Because that's the only time that I actually made money is when I was working a dining room shift or a bar shift.
Right.
It never bothered me at all because
Yeah.
that's when I made money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're involved in the party, so at that point, I didn't have to drink.
Oh, I see.
Because you're involved in the party.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me more about the cab business. You got out of it after a while.
Yes.
You'd been in it for how long?
I was in it for 16 years.
Oh, shit. So a while.
Yeah, I actually drove cab for 13.
Yeah.
And then I was assaulted with bear spray. I think we've talked about that.
Not really.
Oh, that was...
Tell me what happened there.
Well,
I mean, I kind of knew that something happened, but I didn't know what.
Yeah, but I was...
So you had a fare?
I had a fare picked up at a Safeway. Middle of the day.
Yeah.
And drove them down. Meter was $20. And he said, I'll just go in here and get the money. My friend will wait. And I said, fine. And I turned to look at the friend, and they pulled up a can of bear spray and emptied it in my face.
Oh, Jesus. Just a bee.
Oh.
He'll go away.
A little bee. So, yeah. That was...
So he emptied a can of bears just because they didn't want to pay the $20?
Yeah.
For $20?
For $20.
Jesus.
They pretty much ended my cab driving career. And all they really had to do was run.
Yeah. Because you're not going to run after them.
No. A very good friend of mine said that if you don't get ripped off occasionally in this business, you're not working hard enough.
Right.
And so $20 to me at that time was nothing.
Right.
I was at any given point in my career, I was doing six figures a year.
Yeah. Driving cab.
Because I
you were
made
busy
constantly making $400-$500 a night.
Yeah, working hard, working long. Yeah.
5 days a week only, but 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
So
you're putting in some hours.
If they had just left, it would have been.
So so after that, like, why did it end your cab career? Like,
I couldn't trust my instincts.
Oh, like it got into your head.
Yeah. Because my instincts about people is usually pretty good.
Right.
So when I thought that these guys were okay, and I took them, they weren't. And I had some very questionable people in my taxi. I had gang members.
Oh yeah.
From various organizations, shall we say?
Sure.
And I managed to talk my way out. I talked my way out of a beating from a former Olympic boxer.
Why?
For some reason, he had it in his mind that he wanted to beat somebody up. And he tipped the scales at about 250, 300 pounds. He was a heavyweight boxer. And he had this murderous look in his eyes.
Oh, that's...
I'm going, this is not going to go well. So I started talking. Don't give them the opportunity to get any angrier or anything like that. And we took them to a really dark part of town, really like overgrown trees, and like there's not a lot of safety net.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm going to beat you up and take your money." And I looked at him square in the eye and I said, "Now, why would you do that? You outweigh me by twice.
Yeah.
You're a professional boxer.
Yeah.
What's the deal here?" So I said, "I just don't understand why I'm giving you a ride. If you want, you don't even have to pay for the ride. But now I'm doing you a favor by giving you a ride, and you want to beat me up?"
Guy had problems in his head,
that doesn't make any sense to me. So there was a friend with him who was bailed as soon as we got to the address, but he stayed in the car, and I kept talking to him. And at one point, he actually handed over the $20 for the fare, got out of the car, and walked around to the driver's side of the car, scrunched down, because he's like 6 foot tall, looks me in the eye and says, "You are the strongest man I've ever met. You did not take my threats. You got me out of the car, and you didn't make me feel bad."
Fuck, no kidding, right? Oh. Yeah, that is not a fun place to be.
That is not a fun place to be. So that I recognized that situation, and I talked my way out of it. So when this other situation happened, I wasn't expecting anything like that. A Safeway in a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then so I had to start questioning.
Are there good neighborhoods in Edmonton?
Oh, yes.
I'm just
most of it.
I'm just screwing
like,
around.
99%.
It is. It's a nice spot.
It all depends on where you pick up.
Yeah.
Like the neighborhoods are fine. It's individual buildings.
Oh, I see.
That are questionable. We actually got to the point where you could recognize an address and go, no.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Oh, really, eh?
No. Like I had, there are so many stories in the cab business. Oh.
Well, give me a couple.
Funny ones.
Like when I bartended, I think I've said this to you before. We would get people would get super hammered, and then you don't let them drive, right?
Yeah.
And then you call a cab.
Yeah.
And then you pour the son of a bitch out of the bar into your fucking cab, and it's like, it's good riddance, sucker.
Yep.
enjoy the fare, Blaine.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't work. I never knew you back then.
No.
It'd be like basically, yeah, enjoy it.
Oh.
Hey, whoo.
We got rid of that one.
Catastrophe avoided. He's out of our hands now.
That's a good example.
Now the liability's all on the cabbie.
Not in Alberta.
Oh, really?
No, it's
still the bar?
Still the bar.
Yeah, I'm sure it is here too. I'm just, I don't know.
That's, I had one bar. The bouncers carry this guy out between the two of them. And I said, "Is that so-and-so?" He goes, "Yeah." "Good. Let him go." "Well, if we let him go, he'll fall down." I said, "If he falls down, he's not getting in my cab."
Right. He's got to be able to get in.
He's got to be able to get in under his own power because I'm not hauling his butt out.
Yeah.
So they let him go, and he slowly made his way to the cab. And I said, "Okay, two things. One, money first, and his ID."
Yeah, because you need to know where to go.
So I know where to go. And that's what happened. He got in the car. I had his wallet, his ID, his money. He passed out. Took me a little bit longer, but I got him into his driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Okay, you're home." He goes, "Okay." Off he went.
That's okay.
Yep. And then if it was a bar that I knew, I would go back the next day and say, "That was your fault."
Yeah, right.
Because of the trouble I had, you guys are directly responsible. Yeah. My only job was to get him home.
Yeah.
Oh, I was. One of the more fun, profitable stories was.
You drive someone across country?
That's a different story.
Okay.
They were cute, but that was a different story. I pick up a guy, and he's drunk, and he's a stutterer.
Oh boy, yeah.
So,
I used to drink with a buddy of mine that he's a cigar customer, and he never stuttered really. Maybe a little bit, but when he drank, he
got way worse.
Oh my god, it was like ridiculous. Yep. It was hilarious.
Well, this fellow took me a while to get his address, because I would never make fun of somebody, especially when they're drunk.
No.
Especially a stutterer.
Especially when you're working.
So I was just talking to him and not finishing his sentences for him, which a lot of people do with stutterers.
Right.
And it drives them absolutely bonkers. It really does. So I get him to his place. He says, I got to stop at a Mac store to get money for you. Oh, okay, fine. Let's stop at a store. He gets in the car. We get him home. And he says, how much do I owe you? And I said, $20. He goes, okay. And he pulls out this.
$20 to get anywhere in Edmonton?
Oh, no, with the cross city was usually about $20.
Yeah.
So he starts counting out $20 bills. And he stops at 100. He goes, here you go. And I said, you've given me $100 for a $20 ride. He goes, yeah, I know. And I said, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it's 100.
It's 100. You only owe me one of them. He goes, you didn't interrupt me when I was talking. You didn't finish my sentences. You didn't bother me that I was a stutterer. And I said, I didn't think you stuttered. I thought you were just drunk. It was his only night of the year that he was allowed to be away from his son because he was a single father.
Oh, yes. He was just happy.
It was his birthday.
Yeah.
So he went out and he got drunk and he got home safe and he wasn't bothered.
Yeah. And he can obviously afford it, so what the hell?
Yep, that's fine by me. So part of that being the customer service aspect again, but also not making fun of people.
Yeah.
That got me a 400% tip. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And it made me feel good.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Oh, feel good stories. Feel good story or feel bad stories? One time I picked up a young lady who was taking her baby to the hospital. And she said, okay, I have to get the carriage out of the car. Do you mind holding the baby? No. It's a cute little baby. Just a little baby. Right? And I said, well, what are you here for? So he's not doing too well, so he might not make it through the night.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like,
yeah.
Just this little, it's just a heart-wrenching story. And then a few months later, pick up another lady to drive her to the hospital because she's having a baby. I get her to the hospital, fine, never see her again for like 6 months. I pick her up with her new baby, drive her to the hospital for a checkup. She goes, oh, it's you. You drove me to the hospital when I was pregnant. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I decided I liked your name so much, I put that as the middle name for my child.
Oh. Oh, that's funny.
That was amazing. That made me feel.
Yeah.
So that's the gamut of stories. You have these really heart-wrenching, heartbreaking stories, and these just ones that are so elating. Mm-hmm. They make you feel so good. And that was one of them.
Yeah, no kidding.
That was I love those ones. Whenever I would have a bad day, I would drive over to the university area. And because all of these first years, they're really great kids. Because it's their first time out of their parents' house. It's their first time in the big city. They've got money to spend. And they're usually very sweet. So I walked into one place that was, didn't know this until I walked in the door. It was a sorority. Mm-hmm. For first years.
Oh, boy.
18-year-old girls.
You dirty old man.
They said, oh, we're not quite ready yet. Do you mind waiting? No. Would you like a Coke while you're waiting? Okay. And again, because I waited for them for 10 minutes, I got a decent tip out of it.
Yeah.
And it made the rest of my night just fly by nicely.
I'm sure it did.
Oh.
Nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
Beauty.
None of them were goers, so.
Yeah.
They were all way young. They were all probably just about the age of my daughter, so.
Yeah.
I had a little bit more, respect for them.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Totally. So after this this assault with the bear spray, you stayed in the business for a while? Did you drive anymore? Or that was it? That was your last fare, basically? Jesus.
Yeah, I ended up becoming a supervisor
Okay.
for the cab company.
Right. So again, more responsibility, less money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the way it is.
But I was intent on being able to impart my wisdom onto the other drivers.
Yeah.
Because I was one of the highest paid cab drivers in Edmonton. So then I should be able to tell people or teach them how to become better cab drivers.
Yeah.
Well-paid cab drivers.
Yeah.
And I think I succeeded.
Cool.
I think I did with numerous people. It's just like, oh, like my car cost me too much. And it's okay, you're beginning to resent the business. You resent the business, you're no longer a cab driver. You're a hack.
Right.
You don't understand what it is to make money in this business. So I will teach you. You pick up a fare. Numerous times, I would...
So, yeah, that's the way it is when you talk a lot.
Talk too much.
Yeah, you're talking too much. And here, use my...
You pick up fares anywhere. You never know where they're going. You never know where the next fare is going. So one time I dropped off and I picked up at a gas station. And the fellow says, "Do you have a full tank of fuel?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Because we're going to Bruderheim." Bruderheim is about 100 kilometers away from Edmonton.
Mm.
And I said, "You've got the $100. I've got the car."
Yeah.
He says, "Okay, here you go." It ended up being like $80. He says, "No, you keep it."
Nice.
Yeah, he was going to the far north end of Elk Island National Park.
Yeah.
Provincial Park. Elk Island.
So, like, I guess with a cab, you know, it's interesting. You drive them, you're getting paid for one way.
Yes.
But you still have to get your ass back.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So so if you think about it, you know, yeah, it's $80 to get out there, but it's you're only actually getting paid $40 because you have to drive back.
That's exactly. But
Yeah.
you're still getting paid $40 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's what I tried to get these guys to understand. You would go from, say, the party part of Edmonton, White Avenue, to St. Albert, which is a $30 fare. So it takes you 15 minutes to get there, 15 minutes to get back. You've made $30 in half an hour.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you got expenses out of that.
Yep.
But because you're paying for your own fuel,
Mm-hmm.
your own repairs, your own insurance out of that money. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you definitely have expenses out of it. But
Well, the expenses on my taxis were about $40,000 a year.
holy shit.
So I had to make that money.
You had to, yeah.
But also, I kept my car in
Good shape.
leaving town shape.
Right.
Right? I mean, I had a customer.
Well, as a consumer, that's what you want.
Yeah, you want to be able
you want a good quality car to be in. You don't
Yeah.
want something that's unsafe.
No.
That's why I wonder about these Ubers. You know, unless there's like a stat. I've been in lots of Ubers in the U.S. and I've always had good experiences. However, you don't really know the quality of the car you're getting into. Do you know the quality of the driver that's
right.
driving the car? You don't know.
That's one thing we fought for in Edmonton with Uber. Was okay, if you're going to be taking fares, you have to be trained just like we are. You have to pay insurance like we do. Like we pay on average $6,000 a year in insurance.
Well, the insurance thing they've got covered.
They got that covered.
They got that covered. They've got it, and they're doing a better job than the
I think
taxi
so.
business.
I think so.
On insurance,
Yeah.
because they're only paying insurance while they're taking a fare, which makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Why do you have to pay insurance when a car's sitting in the driveway for 12 hours? Makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
You should only be paying while you're driving. There's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about Uber is when I'm in a strange town in in the U.S. I was in Florida and I used Uber. The thing I liked about Uber with the app, you click on it, you ask for a cab on the app. You say you're going from here, where you are, on a smartphone, to where you want to go, right? And it tells you how much that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I took a cab in Vegas, that fucker took me the long way. I know he did because I had just Googled it before, and it says, when you're going to Old Town, get them to take you through the city. A, you get to sightsee, and B, it's actually a shorter fare.
Right.
Don't let them take you onto the highway. And I said to the guy, I said, I don't want to go on the highway. Just drive me through the city. Oh, no, this is better. Well, it wasn't better, because I just read that it's actually $5 more. It's only $5, but still, I didn't like that. I don't like that. Now, you get an honest cabbie, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But you get the guy that's trying to squeeze an extra $5 out of you. It's annoying. So I do like on Uber that you know the trip, you know the route, and you know the cost. And the cabbie, or the driver, I should say, can't fuck you on that. So I think if the cab business just changed a couple of things, they could really still compete.
Oh, yes. They do.
Sorry to take off on a tangent there.
Yeah,
but
I totally lost my train of thought.
About the insurance. You were talking about Uber and the insurance.
As long as they take the same risks that we do.
Well, they don't.
But they do with picking up customers.
Right. They do with the customers, but they don't have to pay a license. No. They don't have to pay the high insurance. Are their cars inspected? Are they trained as a driver? Is that car that I'm getting into in good shape? Are the brakes good?
Yep.
You're on a freaking highway in a car that might be a piece of crap.
Yep.
Well,
I picked up a couple of young ladies from a party, and they said, how much is it going to cost us to go to Calgary? And I could honestly say, it's going to be $300.
Right.
And I could say that honestly because I knew my car was in the condition to be able to
take them there.
Yeah. That was the idea.
Yeah.
And they paid me the $300, and I drove them to Calgary because they had to be at work the next morning.
I remember we took an Uber in Florida, and this girl did not know how to drive. It was an old, kind of like a middle-aged, maybe 55-year-old lady. And I swear, I was sitting in the front seat, and we're driving down the highway. It's late at night. We were coming from the Davidoff Lounge in Tampa, and we're heading back to, where the heck were we going? We were going back to the Seminole Hard Rock Cafe Hotel, right? So anyone knows Florida. I don't know how far that was, but it was like a 45-minute or longer drive. And she's driving in the left lane under the speed limit. And, or on those big highways, you got left lane exits and right lane exits.
Okay.
And she was like confused because it's, if your eyes aren't that great and you don't know what the hell you're doing and you're not experienced, she was like, and I was like, yeah, you're going that way. Because I could see the exit, right? I could read the signs just like her. I was like, this is interesting. And we got home safe. Obviously, I'm here. But it's like, yeah. I mean, I guess the fare was cheaper. I don't know. I didn't pay it, but you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, we had to take English language proficiency test.
Oh, really?
From the city of Edmonton.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Is that because were there a lot of immigrants driving cabs?
Yeah. So they would ask me, they actually asked me, okay, you're at this point here, say at the municipal airport, which is in downtown Edmonton at the time. And they said, we want to go to the airport. Which route do you take? And I looked her in the eye and I said, what time of day is it?
Right.
And she goes, what do you mean? I said, if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I go straight through town. If it's rush hour, I take a different route.
Right.
She goes, you passed.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's one of the things that I had to do as a supervisor was I'd get a call, say, your cab driver overcharged me. Okay. What route did he take and all that? And I said, no, that's about right. Nope, it's wrong. It should be cheaper. And then my job was to take the same route that the cab driver took and meter it out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, what a waste of freaking time.
To double check, right?
Yeah.
And 80% of the time,
It was pretty damn close.
it was pretty darn close.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, I had one person who went from the airbase on the north side of Edmonton to the airport, which is $100 fare. And I asked them what time of day it was. And they said, well, we didn't know. We just wanted to get there quickly. And I said, what did the cab driver tell you, that if the quicker way is the longer way? He said, yeah, well, yeah, but we thought it would be quicker, so therefore it would be cheaper. No.
No, because it's by kilometer.
Because it goes by the kilometer, doesn't go by time. You go through the center of town, it's a straight line. Yes, there's lots of lights and whatnot, but it's 5 o'clock in the morning. There's no traffic. So he took them the long way, which is $120. But it got them to the airport 20 minutes sooner.
Right.
So you can have the fast way, or you can have the cheap way.
Right.
Your choice. I always gave people the choice. I had one lady who took a cab from her home to her friend's house, and it cost her $60 or $80 or something ridiculous like that. And I pick her up at her friend's house, and she says, okay, I only have $80 because that's how much it cost me to get here. It can't be any more than that. $80. Right? She goes, yeah. Okay, I have an idea. How about I drive my way, and if it's more than $80, you pay me the $80. Doesn't matter how much over it is, I get $80. She goes, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
I got her back to her place for $39.
Jesus.
And she looked at me and went, I got screwed.
Yeah, she sure did.
Yep, you did. Thanks for the $80. And she goes, well, do you mind? And no, I don't mind. Here's 20.
Yeah.
You're good. I need to buy a pack of smokes now. But it was just knowing the city. And
Yeah.
I did that a lot. If somebody said, it can't cost more than this,
Yeah.
again, it's the maximum ride in Edmonton was 15, 20 minutes. If the person says it can't cost me more than $20, give me the $20. If it's 25, I don't care. I've made $20 in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably one of the secrets to how I did so well.
Yeah.
Is it didn't matter to me. It was getting there. It's how long the meter was off determined how well you did. The less time it was off, the more money you made.
Mm-hmm. So this is an adult-only show.
No, is it now?
It sure
Oh,
is. Now, I know
really?
everyone's going to be like, oh, Louis, why didn't you ask him? Why didn't you ask him? Why didn't you ask him about that couple that was like banging in the back of the car, or some guy getting a blowjob or whatever? I don't know if this actually ever happened to you or not, but I'm just digging. I want juice.
Oh, it happened.
It happened?
Oh, it happened.
Give me something. Tell
It
me
happened
something.
a lot.
Tell me oh, really? A lot?
Oh, a lot, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see, I was propositioned twice
Nice.
by men.
Even better.
Like,
I hear guys give the best blowjobs.
I wouldn't know. You
Oh,
might
you
have
liar.
more.
You
You
liar.
might have more experience
You
with that than I
liar.
do. But yeah, there was numerous times where couples getting it on the back seat.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was guys. Sometimes it was a couple.
Like two guys?
Two guys.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Two guys.
Talk about uncomfortable. And whatever. Right? You're just driving.
Just driving the car. I've had couples get it on the back seat.
Yeah.
I've had lesbian couples get it on the back seat.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Especially when they were about, I think they were about 19, 20 years old.
Oh, my God.
I think they were still just exploring.
Yeah, figuring it out. It was just a
Figuring
college phase, probably.
Yeah, I think so. It was fun for me.
You need a bigger rearview mirror,
Oh,
right?
I needed one of those ones that stretches right
Yeah,
across.
exactly.
Oh, yeah. But a lot of flashing. I actually had one lady who was with her boyfriend, and she took all of her clothes off in the taxi.
What? I wouldn't want to get naked in a taxi. And
Neither would I.
Yeah, it's gross.
But she did. She was sitting in the back seat, completely starkers. And she looks at me and she says, pretty good bod for a 40-year-old. And I looked her in the eye and I said, lady, that's a pretty good bod for a 20-year-old.
Nice. And she was with her boyfriend?
Yep.
Hilarious.
Yep.
But she's still engaging with you, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Total exhibitionist.
Oh, completely. And she did. She's a 40-year-old woman who had the body of a 20-year-old.
Well, good for her.
Yeah, she was awesome. And she was very nice.
I'm sure she
She was very, very nice. Thank you, Groucho.
Yeah. Any woman naked in my backseat is very nice.
Yes, just completely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Some of my favorites, we have a lot of centurions in Edmonton, people over 100 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a lot of them?
Yeah.
Like it's a thing?
And they take cabs.
Well, sure. They ain't driving.
They ain't driving. So I had this one lady who was 95, I believe. She pulled a midnight move out of her senior's home.
Sakes.
She had all of her clothes in my car, a couple of plants, and she says, get me the fuck out of here. I cannot live in this place anymore.
Really? And she was like lucid?
Oh, yeah, completely. Yep.
Oh, for Christ's sake. That would be hard.
Her last name is synonymous with some of Edmonton's neighborhoods.
Oh.
So her family was money.
Right.
And she was a hoot.
Where'd she go?
She went from one senior's home to another.
Oh, just switching somewhere.
Yeah, she just switching, and they wouldn't let her out of her lease, so she said, fine. And she left.
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're older but still lucid and you're in a place where everyone is like lost their marbles.
Oh, that's
I've been in those
hard.
places, not as a visitor, not as
Did it have
not as a guest.
like
no,
walls,
not padded walls, but you know
tunnels?
what I mean, just like
you're lucid, they're not.
yeah, if you're that would be hard.
That would
be hard.
And
Even though your body might not be physically capable of taking care of yourself, you're still mentally capable. That would be we got to figure that shit out for these people, There's no way to go.
We had one customer, I can tell you her name because she was fairly well known in Edmonton. Her name was Harriet Winspear Center.
Oh, really?
The Winspear Center. And she was 104. Used to pick her up and take her to the Hotel McDonald for dinner.
What's the Hotel McDonald? Nice place?
It's a Fairmont.
Okay.
It's one of the Chateau hotels.
Okay.
In Canada. And it was always such a treat to get her to the hotel, open the door for her.
She would wait, right?
She would wait until I opened the door.
Yeah.
And then I would escort her into the dining room.
Oh, how lovely.
And she felt like the queen of the May.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that took me an extra 5 minutes out of my day.
Yeah, big deal.
To treat somebody of that age like I think they should be treated.
Yeah.
She loved it.
Oh, I bet.
So and the restaurant staff thought that it was very special that I would escort her in.
Yeah. Well, she's from that generation too, where it wouldn't be proper for a lady to walk into a place like that unescorted.
Unescorted, not on a man's arm.
Right. Yeah.
And she got it. She always did.
Hilarious.
And that's the service she got.
Yeah. Why not?
Because of who she was.
Yeah.
Because a young girl probably wouldn't understand that. But a lady who's 100 years old?
Times have changed, right?
She's got it.
Young women can walk into places unescorted now, and no one thinks anything of it. It's just, it was a different time.
Oh. Coming to the rescue of women. This goes back way before I was a cab driver.
Goddamn knight in shining armor.
Yeah, there we are. A friend and I would go to our local, and we're sitting at a table, and there's these two young ladies, obviously alone, drinking.
Like drinking?
Drinking. Like they're just out having a nice night out.
Yeah.
And these two hooligans show up and start berating these two girls. Like saying, hey, baby, how's it going, baby? You want to go out, baby?
They don't like that?
Well, they didn't like that.
Oh! Of course not.
So, my friend and I waited until these two guys got up and left to go to the bathroom. So we looked over at them and said, hey, we noticed that you two are very uncomfortable. Would you like a couple of boyfriends? For like 10, 15 minutes. And they go, you guys would do that? Yeah, because it looks like you guys are not having any fun. So what we'll do is we'll wait for them to come back, and then we'll walk in the door and greet you like you're our girlfriends. They said that would be nice. So that's what we did. These guys came in, they sat down. We walked in. Oh, there you are, girls. Sorry we're late, but we finally made it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, dear, for showing up.
Yeah.
These two other you hooligans got up and left. And when they left the bar, we went and sat back at our table.
Easy peasy.
Oh, it was just so much fun. Fucking with people is so much fun.
That cigar lit?
I talk too much.
Well, you are being interviewed. So you left the cab business. I understand you went into building maintenance or something back, kind of like full circle back after that.
Oh, yeah. Then, let's see. So it was the cab business. Then it was the supervisor. And then I went into building office furniture.
Oh.
For a dealership in Edmonton.
Oh, right.
We put up the demountable walls.
Yes.
All the various office furniture.
Yeah.
Did that for 3.5 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Got injured.
You got a torch if you need it, bud.
Yeah.
You got injured doing that?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
I was actually hauling a 300-pound or 250-pound sheet of glass into an elevator.
By yourself?
No, with another guy.
Okay.
And turns out I was lifting it from the bottom. He was lifting it from the top. But it was 4 inches too wide for the elevator door, so it had to be twisted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was twisted, lifting and pushing, and my back,
Yeah.
I heard it.
Oh.
I heard my back snap.
Uh.
And I couldn't move. And this poor guy just had a 250-pound sheet of glass drop. So
that was that.
That was that for that. And I ended up getting better.
Oh, good.
I ended up getting better. I did a lot of exercises, did a lot of getting better. And then as soon as I got better, they fired my ass.
What?
They let me go.
Oh, shit.
The management style and I would no longer...
No longer compatible?
No longer compatible. Exactly. That's how they put it. Bastards.
And that was still in Edmonton?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I kind of bounced around from office job to office building
Right.
jobs.
Yeah.
And then ended up applying for a assistant resident manager job, which I really thought would be a good idea. Customer service, maintenance.
Things you've done before.
I've done this before. It should work just fine. Wrong.
Oh.
We kept getting the carrot and stick, except there was no carrot.
Oh.
So if you're here a bit longer, you could get your own building. If you're here a bit longer, you could get your own building. And that got pushed and pushed and pushed. And that started to cause stress in my marriage.
Oh.
Like huge amounts of stress. And then not this past winter, but the winter before, Edmonton had one of the coldest winters since the 60s.
Oh.
It was 60 some odd days of minus 40 weather.
That's cold.
That's cold.
Yeah.
And we were looking after...
It doesn't matter if it's Fahrenheit or centigrade. It's minus 40, it's minus 40.
Minus 40 is...
It's about the same, right
That's
down there.
Right down there.
Yeah.
That when they meet that at minus 40, that's the same, either direction.
So they meet at minus 40?
They meet at minus 40.
Okay.
Yeah. Or within a degree or two.
Yeah.
Or at that point, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? It's fucking cold. Yeah.
So we were looking after 2 buildings at this point.
Yeah.
Still assistant managers, not resident managers.
Oh.
After a year and a half, we were still, and I'll say it this way, just assistant managers, because we were treated that way. We were looking after the buildings.
Oh, I see. So you were looking after them. You had all
By
the
ourselves.
responsibility.
All the responsibility
but
as a resident manager.
But no pay.
No.
Oh, well, that's shitty.
So we're stuck between 2 buildings. It's minus 40.
Yeah.
That was not right. So...
And at minus 40, because
can't go out.
I've never experienced minus 40.
Mm.
Okay, so at minus 40 degrees, are these buildings just like, is there stuff going wrong with them all the time?
Heat.
Just, it's the heating.
Yeah.
Because the heaters are just working full time all the time, never shutting off, and it's just strain and stress on the machinery.
Yeah, and both of these buildings are over 50 years old.
So poor insulation.
Very lacking insulation.
Did they even have double pane glass?
No.
Single pane glass.
Single pane glass in most of the places.
Oh my gosh.
They renovated them to double pane, but because the heating elements of the heating pipes were on the outside of the building, there wasn't a lot of insulation, so they would freeze and burst.
Even the heating pipes.
Yeah, because residents would turn their heaters off.
Oh, and then the water stops and it gets cold and
then it fires up again. We would tell them constantly, leave the heater on.
At least a little bit.
It has to be, the water has to flow.
Yeah.
And at -40, unfortunately, the water has to flow a lot.
Yes.
You can't just trickle through the pipes. It has to be flowing.
Right.
So, yeah, we had numerous times.
I'm surprised they didn't have like a glycol system or something so they wouldn't freeze,
They probably do by now.
Yeah, right.
After we were there. So then I came down here for vacation, and I was sitting outside the Victoria Youth Hostel.
Yes.
One of my favorite places.
I think I remember when you came down.
Yeah.
Because you were coming and hanging out at the cigar store sometimes, right?
Yeah. And I decided then that in the middle of a rainstorm, sitting outside having a pipe and a cup of coffee,
That's it.
I can't handle Edmonton anymore.
Welcome to Victoria.
Yeah, it was pouring rain. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Anything was better than -40 and stuck in 2 buildings for 60 days.
Yeah.
So this COVID self-isolation thing,
yeah,
it
was all fine with you.
It was all fine by me because I was used to it.
Right.
I did it for 2 months. So this is nothing.
Yeah.
Luckily, with the what do you call it? Procedures that we put in place at work.
Yes.
Made it easier for me to continue to work.
Yeah.
And I felt completely safe the entire time.
I think so.
Yeah.
I did too.
It was good. And the people coming in and saying, "It is so good to have you open."
I know, it was great, wasn't it?
Normal.
Yeah.
They needed desperately something to be normal.
Yeah.
And then they come and see us.
Yeah.
Normalcy,
well,
maybe not so much.
They're pretty normal.
Yep.
So how long have you been in Victoria now?
Been a year.
Oh, so you started working for me like right away, as soon as you got here.
Yeah. Well, the story I tell people is that I came in looking for a cigar.
Yes.
And I walked out with a job.
Easy peasy.
I mean, doesn't get much better than that.
No.
As soon as you offered me the job, I'm going like, gee whiz, been here for... Let's see, we arrived on the 30th of May. You offered me the job on like the 5th of June. And I was starting on the 9th of June.
Yeah, it was quick.
It was
You didn't
quick.
have much time off.
No, I didn't have any time off.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah.
It worked out really well, and I've been extremely happy ever since.
Yeah, nice. Oh, it's great having you, man. You've been a hell of an asset to the company. It's
Thank
been
you.
awesome. Customer service is great. A little messy, but we'll work on that.
Messy?
No, not Blaine.
No.
No.
No. Not messy.
Nice.
It's the sign of an organized mind.
Yeah, is that a messy desk?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a sign of an organized mind. Because I know where everything
Well, we'll
is.
go with that. We'll go with that. Yeah, you know where everything is, but no one else does.
No. Like, that's important?
Yeah.
Oh, that drives me nuts.
Hilarious. So cool. You were saying you wanted to travel around the island a little bit. Have you done that?
No.
Not yet, eh?
No.
Oh, we'll get to it. You'll get to it. Where you want to go? What's the first thing you want to see on the island that you haven't seen already? Because, I mean, you've traveled here for years.
Oh, yeah.
right?
I've been here for years.
Yeah.
I would come down here about once a year.
Yeah.
So I've seen most of Victoria, not enough of the beaches.
Right.
I do love the beaches here. One thing I wouldn't mind seeing that I haven't seen, I was really close, is Parksville.
Oh, yes.
I want to see the trees.
Cathedral Grove.
Cathedral Grove.
Yes.
Because the last time we were here...
Those are just on the way to Port Alberni.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the last time I was anywhere near there, I was at something called the Mile Beach, the Parksville Beach that goes out for...
Yeah, that's Rathtrevor, I think.
Rathtrevor?
I think so.
I mean, I haven't been there for 40 years.
Yeah.
But I still remember it.
So, yeah, you can... I don't know what they call that beach, but it might be Rathtrevor. You can camp there at the provincial campsite.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost impossible to get in. You have to book like 3 months in advance. It's ridiculous.
Because it was a neat place to go.
It's neat. That beach is neat. At low tide, the water, you probably have a kilometer straight out of sand. Yep. And then once you get into the water, you could probably walk another kilometer and only be like chest deep in the water. And it just goes forever. And because it's so shallow there, like by noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that water is warm like a bathtub. It's the ocean. It's the West Coast, but it's an isolated bay. And the neat thing is as that water starts coming in,
don't walk slow.
Yeah, no, it comes in fast, but yeah, you're fine. But the warm sand warms the water up even more. So you get this really nice warm water. It's so much fun. So much fun. So yeah, you should go there. And then on your way, I forget what highway it is, maybe 4, which goes to Port Alberni. I think that's the road to Cathedral Grove. And you go through Coombs too. Have you been to Coombs?
No.
Goats on the Roof?
No.
They call it Goats on the Roof. It's Coombs is like a little roadside. It started off as like a little roadside knick-knackety place where you'd get like little wood toys and knickknacks and things like that.
Roadside stuff.
Yeah, roadside stuff. But it's grown and grown and grown, and more businesses have joined in. It's really, really busy now. Like really busy. We'll go there every couple of years or so. We'll take a road trip for a day and go up there and just check out the little shops and buy a few little knickknacks and have a coffee and a muffin or whatever. And it's a nice little spot.
Oh.
It's a great little road. It's like one of those stops, You've just got to kind of stop.
Yeah.
You never drive by. You always stop, go to the bakery and get yourself a cheese bun or whatever the heck you want and a coffee and something and check out all the stuff. And it's just like a zoo up there. It's like a freaking zoo. And their claim to fame is they've got this the main building is is a shack, for lack of a better word, and it's got grass on the roof. Right? It's like grass and weeds and stuff on the roof, and there's little goats on the roof eating the grass. Like they live up there. So you go up there and you're walking in, and there's goats on the roof of the building you're going into. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. You can get ice cream there and stuff, and
nice.
Kids like it. It's fun.
What was that little kind of a farm thing on the way out to Sydney on the right-hand side of the highway? It has like an ice cream shop, and it has a candle-making shop.
Oh, I don't know.
It was part of a farm at one point.
Oh, Maddox Farm?
Is Mannix? There's a golf course right next to
Yeah, Cordova Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
This is
neat.
kind of like Maddox Farm, but way more rustic. Maddox is pretty and clean, and the gardens are mint, and everything's beautiful there. This is far more rustic.
Okay.
So I don't suggest going there on the weekend.
But everybody's there.
At Coombs, yeah. Even midweek, it's really busy, but the weekend is even busier. But even though it's really busy, it's easy to get in and out, and there's always lots of parking along the street. You might have to walk a few hundred meters to get there or something. Big deal. Yeah, worth a go. Yeah, that's a definitely you could do it in a day. It would be a long day because it's about 2 hours to get there. But yeah, you could do it in a day.
It's a Churchill to get there and a Churchill to get back.
That's it. Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
That's how we do things. We don't go by time. We go by length of the cigar.
Yeah.
Because when we went to the bay, that beach, we had a choice, either the beach or Cathedral Grove.
Oh, you could have done them both. They're not that far away from each other.
Dad was driving.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
And
Cathedral Grove is, again, the road goes right through the center of it. You just pull off to the side, find a spot to park, and, if you're there an hour, you do a little walk on the trail they have there. It's like Mount Doug Park, but the trees are way bigger. You just do a little walk, take you about an hour. That's probably about enough. there.
Yep.
There's nothing else. There's no amenities there. Bathrooms, that's about it. And so it's an hour or so, and then you head into Parksville again, and you go to one of the beaches.
Yeah. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. The beach at Rat Trevor is nice because it's huge, and even if there's a ton of people on it, it looks empty.
Yeah.
And it's great for playing like frisbee, and there's all these little like puddles everywhere, like these little. They're not tide pools, like just little low spots in the sand. And people are skimboarding on them, and it's nice.
Okay.
It's cool.
Good.
It's cool. Yeah, you should do that this summer. It'd be easy. It's an easy day trip.
Yeah.
Leave early in the morning, take your time, have breakfast, spend the day at the beach, relax somewhere for dinner, smoke a cigar on the beach. I smoke cigars on that beach all the time because you're so spread out. No one bugs you. You just find a little spot. What am I saying? You can find a spot easier 500 feet to the next person.
Yeah.
Smoke a cigar. I always bring my own lawn chair. Yeah, we haven't been up there in years now, though. But we used to camp up there when the kids were a little bit smaller. But camping's gotten so busy on the island, you just can't.
Because everybody just they take. There's a commercial out there now that says we have the island to ourselves. Let's explore it.
Yes, that's right. We do have the island to ourselves, sort of. Except I noticed some people from Alberta here recently.
I don't know how that showed up.
Yeah, what the heck, eh?
Yeah.
They're going to Tofino, though. That's another good spot to check out. That's a big beach.
Yeah.
Been up there?
No, I haven't been to Tofino. There's supposed to be a really great hostel out there.
Oh, Tofino and Ucluelet are both cute little communities. I haven't spent a lot of time in Tofino, to be honest, just a few hours. But I've spent a bit of time in Ucluelet. It's much more like Yuki's more of a fishing village kind of a feel. Like it's more rustic,
right.
And Tofino's more bourgeois, But the beach is the same. It's pretty. Yeah, it's worth a go. You can camp up there too. There's hostels.
Yeah, the Tofino hostel, I've seen pictures of it. Looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me of smoking cigars in hostels. Reminds me of going to Banff and going to the youth hostel there. So when most of my cab driving career was at night. I would work from 6 at night till 6 in the morning.
Oh shit.
So the fun times.
Yeah, no kidding.
The fun times. So when we went to Banff, I'd be up at 4 in the morning. 3 in the morning because I couldn't sleep.
Oh, because you were already used to the...
I was used to being awake.
Right.
I worked that shift for 16 years.
Holy shit, yeah.
6 to 6. And I would go out on the deck with a cigar.
Where?
Of the hostel. Hostel had
At
a
Banff.
deck. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like when you would go away...
Yeah.
Your clock was all screwed up,
Yeah.
so you're always up super, super early.
Yeah. So I would go out to the deck.
By yourself, of
by
course.
myself.
Yeah.
With a bottle of Cavassier. And a cigar.
At 3 a.m.?
At 3 a.m.
Yeah, most people are packing it up and you're just getting going.
I'm just getting started. And I was reading Lord of the Rings.
Oh, nice.
In the forest.
Yeah.
In the mountains.
Great place.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it was so nice.
Yeah.
It was always so beautiful up there.
Yeah, it is really...
You see the deer go by and the occasional cougar. And,
Yeah, it's gotten so busy up in Banff.
oh,
it's
nuts.
gotten so busy.
Oh, we used to go in the shoulder seasons.
That's the only way
right?
to do it.
And now there isn't a soldier. Up until this, there isn't a shoulder season in Banff anymore.
Oh, really?
Everybody else has understood that end of March, beginning of April, it's a nice time to go because there's not a lot of people.
Right. So it's just gotten busy.
Now there's a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
But there were times there where we would be the only people on Banff Avenue.
Really?
Yeah, and it was beautiful. Well,
I've been there like November. It was slow in November, but it was cold. It was already getting chilly. I think it was November.
We were outside Evelyn's, which is a coffee shop, the premier coffee shop in Banff. Tea shop, actually. And
like tea and coffee.
Tea and coffee
and baked goods and stuff like that.
Really good stuff. Oh,
yeah.
That's where I had my first London fog.
Oh, I hate those.
Oh, I love those. Those are
Do
so
not
good.
like the tea.
You don't like
bergamot?
Bergamot.
Ah.
Oh, where we get to? That's one of the biggest.
I'm Italian, man. You know what they say about Italians? The only time we drink tea is when we're sick.
Mm.
I'm coffee. We went to the Empress for high tea. right? My wife got treated a few years ago from work. I don't go to Empress or High Tea. It's too bloody expensive for my pocketbook. But we go to Empress for High Tea. We get treated. It's great. We're sitting down with another couple. We're sitting in these beautiful chairs and white glove service, and they're explaining. They have a tea menu and they're explaining all the teas. And I look up at the maitre d' there, and I'm like, "Can I get coffee?" He laughed at me. I'm like, "I don't drink tea." I just don't, right? And he's like, and then that's funniest thing. Then the lady across from me, I don't know who they were. They were just a couple. We just met there. We just sat with this couple, and she's like, "Do you think I can order coffee too?" And he was like, "What's going on around here? Is this supposed to be high tea, and you guys all drinking coffee?" Well, you know how it is.
Yeah, coffee can go very nicely with high tea.
It's great.
Yeah.
For me, it was perfect. All those little pastries and finger foods and stuff with a cup of good coffee.
Yep.
It's just as good.
And you are going to get good coffee.
It was good coffee. Yeah.
It would be.
So anyway, sorry. I cut you off there about the coffee.
Banff.
The London fog. The London fog. Yeah.
So we were out on the street, and there was this beautiful old lab. Mm-hmm. Old lab. And he decided,
like a black lab dog.
Yeah, he was a blonde.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Lovely dog. And we're sitting down, and the owner goes in, and this dog sits beside me.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? And so he's about this, so he's this tall.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I'll just back up for a second.
Just petting the dog.
Petting this beautiful, beautiful dog. And so people were walking by going, "Nice dog." Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep this.
We nicknamed him Captain Xavier because he was just such a magnificent beast. And people were going, "Is this your dog?" No. He seems to like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? It was just a gorgeous. But it was one of those Banff moments.
Yeah.
Where you're just chilling.
Yeah.
And this strange dog decides that
he's going to sit next to you.
He's going to sit next to you. And now you were the boss.
That's funny.
Oh, it was beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Lots of good stories about Banff.
Yeah.
I loved Banff. Lots of eating.
Lots of eating in Banff.
Lots of eating in Banff.
Yeah.
Great place to go to Banff. Eat at Banff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good spot. Good spot. And if you don't go if ski season hasn't started yet, when I was there, there was no skiing yet because it was like it was real shoulder season. Like it was definitely not warm anymore. We were bundled up. We were in Calgary visiting some friends. I can't remember it was like early winter. So there was just a little bit of snow.
Yep.
It wasn't that busy. You could get around pretty easy because the ski season hadn't really started up, but camping season was done.
Yeah.
Right. Motorhome season was done. So that wasn't bad. It wasn't that busy. So I guess that would be your only shoulder season now. Mm-hmm. It's gotten really short.
Because we used to go there in November, beginning of November.
Hell, you used to be able to go there in the summertime without a reservation and just find a place to camp. Like that was camping in BC. You just, when we were kids, get in the car. Yeah, you just showed up. You might have to wait. You show up whatever time. You might have to wait a bit while someone's vacating. Mm-hmm. But you always found a spot everywhere. It didn't matter where. Parksville or Banff or... up island at, Strathcona, whatever. You just found spots. There was always spots.
Yeah.
Apparently we're like, in British Columbia, we're like, what did they say, 1,000 or 1,500 campsites short now for like the population. Like they did an analysis. I think that's what I heard. Like we need to kind of like settle things out. We need to invest as a province in places like this.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea.
Oh yeah,
we should. Those were great childhood memories for me, and and my kids have had a bit of that, but not enough. But yeah, it's great.
Good.
Yeah. Where else are you going?
I don't know. I'm so in love with Victoria.
It's pretty great here.
You know, just the city itself and just wandering around when I'm not working.
Yes, which you're working a lot.
Yeah, but that's fine. It's like at least when you do have time off, you can enjoy the city because it's a city built for enjoyment. It really is.
Great walk in town.
Great walk in town.
Yeah.
You got bookstores, shameless plugs like,
Cafes.
Russell
Yeah.
and what's the
Monroe's.
Monroe's? Oh,
Yeah, Monroe's Monroe's is a world-class bookstore.
Yeah.
Old, beautiful Victorian building,
Mhm.
grand center,
Oh, it's just,
central room in it. It really is. It's an icon, and we can never ever lose that bookstore. Ever.
it's beautiful.
No.
I mean,
That's a kind of a place like if it wasn't profitable, the government should
subsidized.
or take it over and have
Yeah.
it run as like almost like a historic site.
Yeah.
It's one of
it's
those
like-
places.
It's nice to walk into some place like Murchie's.
Yes.
And I've walked into Murchie's now for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
It never changes.
No, it's great.
But something that is so perfect doesn't have to change.
Yeah.
And it is perfect. It's still perfect. Or otherwise, you wouldn't get people who've been going there for 40 years
Yeah.
who are even Victorians.
Yeah. Like a place like that, or a place like Rogers Chocolates.
Yeah.
Or they need to be like
Yep.
the way they are because it's just so great.
Yeah. And I do love, what are they called? Macarons? Macaroons?
Macaroons, yeah.
Macaroons?
Yeah. Something good, eh?
Oh, normally with macaroons you get like they're like in Edmonton they're like $3, $4, $5 each. Murchie's you can get a couple of macaroons and a cup of tea
Yeah. Ugh.
for $5,
Yeah.
or maybe a little bit more,
Yeah.
and it's worth it.
Oh, 100%.
It's a nice little reward, just wandering around.
Great city to walk around in.
Oh, it
I know,
is.
there's a lot of people in our town that say, "Oh, I'll never go downtown." Why?
Why?
Why? Because you can't find a place to park? Bullshit. There's lots of parkades. There's always somewhere to park.
Yep.
You might have to walk a kilometer. Big deal. What's that? You're
Yeah.
strolling.
That's
You're
always
just
a
strolling
stroll.
through the city.
Yep.
There's always parking near our downtown cigar store. There's always
Yeah.
parking there, except on maybe the busiest of days. Get on the bus. Get your butt downtown. And
You can walk.
yeah.
Like
Well, you can walk from where you live. From here, it's an
No,
hour. It's an hour and 20 minutes to get to the Inner Harbor from here.
oh wow, yeah, that's new.
I've done that walk. It's a great walk.
Because you would take
I took all these little shortcut routes. There's like a cycling path. I can't remember now, but all these little roads and this and that, and you just walk through the neighborhoods. The last time I walked home from the Buskers Festival, I stopped by the cigar store, grabbed a cigar, walked home with a cigar. Wow. Great afternoon.
Yep.
Or evening, I should say.
Yep.
It was great.
Yep.
Yeah. There's lots to do in our city.
There is. It's a beautiful walking city.
Yeah.
You
and-
don't have to spend the earth.
No.
You have, the Value Village, which is a great walk. You have Bean Around the World, which has fantastic coffee and reasonable price. I buy my beans there because it's local, support local.
Yeah. Lots of great spots.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of great spots.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I think that's almost a wrap, unless there's something else
Already?
you wanted to touch on. Well,
Oh.
we're an hour and a half.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
It doesn't feel like it.
I know.
Just so much more in life. Like my camping trip across the UK. I mean,
Oh, geez, we'll have to get you back on here.
yeah,
We
there was like
can't-
2 months. 2 months I spent in the UK.
Oh, nice.
A lot of it.
We'll do another.
Yeah.
We'll do another chit chat. We've already we've got your story. So we know who you are and where you're from and what what kind of made you. And now next time we'll just have a talk about current events or travel.
Or my sojourn as a pipe smoker
Oh, that would be fun.
from
too.
starting when I started smoking at a
Too young of an age.
Too young, yes.
Yeah.
We'll call it too young.
Well, I like to make sure people are adults before they start the hobby of pipe
Yeah.
and cigar.
It just got me into, I started going to cigar stores when I was 16.
Oh, Jesus.
What's
Those are-
that?
Yeah.
Formative years.
Yes.
But be surrounded by people in a cigar store. Men,
Yeah.
women of quality, of upbringing.
Yeah.
That was
It's kind of cool.
they're very important for me
nice.
as a young man.
Well, we'll have you on again.
Yeah, I would like that very much.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
All right, Blaine Milleman.
Luigi.
Good talk.
Yes, do take care.
Cheers.